I always was expressing as a result of observe the last few decades. Basic human nature, like any other animal, is a want peace, happy, do not want suffering, problem. Yet, among thousands different species of mammals, we human being, most troublemaker. Because, this marvelous human brain, intelligence, use not well balanced with warm-heartedness, but intelligence combined with anger, jealousy. So then our intelligence, instead of bring happiness or peace, this brain combined with anger, then we really become the creator of problem. I think obviously war, the name of war, was mobilized big number and killing each other. Other animal, few occasions they fight, but otherwise never happened that. But we human beings, over 1,000 years, killing each other. So now, other hand, now some scientists also used to say, basic human nature, since we are social animal, so basic human nature is more compassionate. It is very true. As soon as we born, we survived with mother's tremendous affection and family. They look after. Otherwise, we can't survive. So, the very basis of our life, very much based on human compassion. And then, as I mentioned earlier, even animal, the social animal, individuals' well-being depend on rest of the community. So they have the sense of one community, helping each other. So we are social animal. At a young age, these basic human value very much sort of alive. But once we join education, existing education, not much talk about these basic human value. But these so-called modern education come from West. So their tradition, I think previously, monastery, nunnery, like I think in Tibet or other area also, I think a monastery or nunnery, these carry the education. Then in the West, industrialization. So the 1,000-year-old education, which is related with faith, is not adequate. So separate education institution started. So at that time, the spiritual or inner value is taken care by church. Now newly developed education institution now carry the responsibility, other sort of education, mathematics, or so on, these things. So gradually religious faith among the public, so less and less interest. So we can see in Europe and America also, you see huge monastery, Christian monastery. Now just a few monks or nuns. So nobody, not many people showing interest. So therefore now, education institution itself should take care about our inner value. So these days, I sort of expressing that from kindergarten, we usually teach children the hygiene of physical. Similarly, we need teaching from kindergarten hygiene of emotion. So then, from kindergarten level, then further sort of,
as you go up in the school system.
So education about mind, knowledge about mind. These days I describe map of emotion should include in education field with fuller knowledge about emotion. Then you see, it is easier to tackle our destructive emotion. Now here, India, over 3,000 years, is a concept of non-violence, ahimsa, and karuna. These 1,000-year-old Indian sort of tradition, non-violence and compassion, is now today's world very much need these two things, non-violence and compassion. Not as a part of religious practice, but as education, part of education, and how to create happy individual with inner peace. Just to pray, God, not sufficient. We must have knowledge. When about anger comes, then use our intelligence and reduce the power, intensity of anger. That is karuna, compassion. Increase compassion, then anger automatically reduce. So, we are social animal. Each individual, including kings or queens in ancient time, now these days president or prime minister, they also remain just lonely. They can't survive. Each human being, you see, their survival entirely depends on the community. So now in terms of community, in ancient time, your family and your neighbor, very small circle. Now today's world, because of technology and communication and also global economy, so now whole world, 7 billion human beings, actually one human community. So now we need teach children. Each individual's future depends on the community. And in terms of community, then 7 billion human beings are part of our human community. So now here, I emphasize, you see, we need sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. I think children, young age, they don't care what others' nationality or religious faith. So long, play together. Same. Once we, through education, we emphasize different nationality, different religious faith, then the sense of we and they develop. That's the basis of killing. In ancient time, also, now once we develop strong sense of we and they, then you see this war only, I think, exists among humanity. It's quite a pity. This marvelous intelligence, brain, is causing more violence, and because of the organized, see, violence. Animal, no problem. So now we have to think seriously, and our existing education should include education about our mind, about our emotion. Then the children, the better, the position to tackle destructive emotion. That also, according to India's tradition, secular, not based on religion. Information come from religious text, but the subject itself is academic subject, not religious subject. So whether believer or non-believer believe this religion or that religion is a secondary question. It's individual matter. But as we human being, we are a social animal. So knowledge how to tackle our destructive emotion, how to keep peace of mind, inner peace. Through inner peace, real world peace can develop. Very important now. World peace through declaration, through resolution, not much useful. The real world peace through inner peace and through education, sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. Then entire human being, 7 billion human beings, are our brothers, sisters, same our community. The rest of the humanity happy, I will happy. Rest of humanity difficult. Then how can individual remain happy person? Very difficult. So therefore, education, I feel, should include some education about our inner peace, how to tackle inner peace, not through prayer, but through understanding which emotion creates violence, anger, jealousy, anxiety, fear. So these ultimately related self-centered, I, me. So more altruism, take care about the rest of the community. Then today's reality, entire humanity, one community. So instead of also fighting, now we should develop the universal love. They are part of we. So these, through education, there more altruism here. The individual becoming much more happier. Too much me, self-centered, then difficult. So according to my own experience, and then some of my friends' experience, you see, thinking, altruistic attitude, these people much happier. My friend, one monk, who spent 18 years in Chinese Gulag. In early 80, he come he got the permission come to India. And then he stayed here till his death. So once, since I know him very well, before 1959, so we just a casual talk. And he mentioned during 18 years in Chinese Gulag, few occasions, he really faced danger. I thought danger on his life. And I asked, what kind of danger? They say, losing compassion towards Chinese. He considered that's a very serious matter. So he considered, losing compassion towards Chinese is danger. Then, according to our own experience, keep altruism, and the whole phenomena appears something positive. Too much self-centered attitude, then whole phenomena appears something difficult. And then fear, anxiety, then that creates anger. So anger very much related with self-centered attitude. Altruism is opposite. And today's world, according to the reality, now scientists also say constant anger, hatred is actually eating our immune system. So therefore, not as a religious matter or next life or heaven, not talking these things, simply how to create happy individual, happy family, through that way, happy humanity. So education, we have to think seriously, education should include education about our inner world, like that. So you, since many years we know, is you really showing interest. Now this word, better we, and finally better I, then better we, then better world. Ultimately individual, the community is combination of individual. Ultimately individual, they're very important. So I think now today's world, I think a sense of community, bigger community, that now, unlike early part of 20th century, now later part of 20th century, you see the sense of community grow stronger. Like one example is the European Union. For example, French under the leadership of de Gaulle, German under the leadership of Adenauer. So I think these people really fed up too much violence. So they developed the idea European Union. Not through religious thing, but use common sense. So now European Union is one example. They consider the European, they become more mature, thinking, wider perspective, not just me, my nation, my nation. English now something different now. So they want to leave European Union. And anyway, so because European Union developed, at least the last few decades, no longer any killing among the member states. If European Union not developed, I think at least the last few decades, some killing may take place. Therefore, now these are the indications we become more mature. So now European more sort of education field and knowledge field, I think more advanced. So they develop. Now Latin America should develop one union. Then Africa, whole Africa Union, I think too big. So Northern Africa, some kind of union. Then East Africa, West Africa, South Africa, like that. And that's the only way to build happy humanity, live together. So then you can save a lot of money. Usually it's spent for weapon. Really waste. Nobody is dare to use this weapon. At the same time, spend a lot of money to build army and weapon. Truly, I think, wasted money. If you really, want fund weapon, then let them kill each other. Then okay. Nobody wants to kill each other. But at the same time, spend a lot of money to build military forces. That's contradiction. So eventually, we should develop a world without weapon. So finally, demilitarized world we can achieve through education. And whenever we find some disagreement, difficulties, so we must use human language and talk. So these days I describing this 21st century now should be century of dialogue. Whenever we find some difficulties, talk, through talk, not use weapon. Like that. So that's my view. So you can make certain sort of significant contribution. So wonderful your organization, your work. Thank you.